can't get food right now.
Okay. All right. We're so close. Okay.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey there.
It's Dave and Linda from Balance Point Health Center. It is Thursday.
Yay.
Throwing you off for our many viewers. That we're on Thursday because, thank God, I am back to work tomorrow, Friday.
Yay. Oh my God.
Okay, we're just gonna edit that out later since that was hugely embarrassing. The family, anyway.
It's an inside joke.
This is why I'm really happy to go back to work tomorrow. 3 months of raising the roof has driven me back to want to touch people again. And yeah, anyway, so very excited. And luckily I've got a really busy week. That's our son opening up his breakfast at noon. So thanks, Jake. That's super quiet. I really appreciate that. And maybe we'll put you on TV and that would help you. There we go. There he goes. Anyway, so yeah, so back to work next week. If you're looking to book, I'm already booked out 2 weeks. The schedule is open for 2 days, and I'm already full for 2 weeks, which is great for me and the clinic.
Business.
Not business,
Yeah, well.
not so much for you. So just please call. We can get you on a cancellation list if you need to be, and we'll get you in as soon as we can. But really looking forward to getting back with all our really safe protocols. Make sure you bring a mask, have to wear a mask, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But today we're talking to you about, oh, hey, Melissa.
Hey.
Talking to you about sitting. And throughout this entire COVID time, sitting has become a new reality for everybody, and it's sitting in really bad positions, at bad workstations, on the couch, at the kitchen table, all these things that have been really detrimental to people's health.
Yeah, it's sitting more than you realize, because I've been talking to a bunch of people and they keep saying, even though they're exercising every day, you're still not getting the walks to your car, to your workplace, out for lunch, out for dinner. Like all of those little things add up.
You know, going to the water
Just even
cooler.
with your posture.
Yeah, like getting up, going to the water coolers,
Yeah.
you know, seeing gym or avoiding gym. You know, the guy office who's, you know, just everyone's got a gym at work. The guy with, you know, the tinfoil hat and the government conspiracies.
Okay, clearly he's never worked in a corporate job.
No, it's
This
true.
is
There's
from-
always, and Jim works in IT, and if it wasn't for Jim,
Okay.
thank God for Jim, because your IT department would be a complete disaster. But he's a little different, and sometimes you get a few more steps in because you see him coming, and you walk around.
Oh my God. Okay, we only have 20 minutes.
Anyway, so we're not walking as much as we should, which is not great. So, like, even when I've been doing work from home and spending some time on the computer, I realize when I get up, my hip flexors, the front of my hips are really super tight. And that's a problem because not only is that affecting the actual hip joint, your hip flexor is a huge muscle that actually travels from the femur, so your thigh bone, through your whole pelvis and up your lower back. So all the way along the lumbar spine. And it pierces your diaphragm. So a lot of these talks have talked about breathing and how important breathing is to your overall structure and the impacts it has on other structures, and that includes your pelvis. So if you sit in bad posture with poor ergonomics, you're breathing less, and you're breathing more and more shallow, and you're getting up less and less. So you're compounding the problem by staying in a poor posture, breathing poorly, and then that pulls on the fascia that goes into your hip flexor. So eventually, when you go to stand up, it takes you a really long time to get tall again. You actually maybe, instead of getting out like this, you're kind of on an angle like that, and eventually you start to straighten up and become tall again. So today's thought is basically just breathing, still really important, deep breathing, trying to focus on having good breath. Because again, if you don't breathe well as the day goes on, that kind of 2 o'clock wall that you hit, where you start to get tired and you're not focused as much, can actually be hypoxia, meaning that you're not exchanging carbon dioxide and oxygen. So you're getting too much, your blood gases are off. So getting up and going for that walk and trying to set a time to get away from your workstation, to get up and move and stretch, really has a huge impact on your structure. So make sure that you're doing your hip flexor stretch. So a really simple hip flexor stretch. I can try to show you. It's a little hard here.
Sure, I can take the phone.
Yeah, if you want to grab the phone. Our computer is not working.
So we don't just show them our
today.
messy kitchen.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Oh, we're showing them the
You wanna
messy
check
kitchen
that?
anyway. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So even just standing with one foot behind the other. If you've ever done yoga, it's just like kind of doing the warrior pose. Well, it's just exactly like doing the warrior pose. But all you're doing is just trying to keep your hips square so they're facing forward. You're nice and tall, and just coming forward like that, and you're trying to feel a stretch in the front of your hip. Okay, sometimes if your calf is really tight, people are going to feel it in their calves because they're just doing this. But what you want to do is make sure you're actually tilting your pelvis back, and then you can come forward. But make sure your knee does not come past your foot. And just trying to stay forward and straight like that, and feel that nice big stretch in the front of your hip. It's really important because if you can open the front of your hip, if you take the time that every time you get up out of the chair, you're not going to feel the tension through here. The other stretch too is for the muscle on the side of on your side called your quadratus lumborum. So it goes from the top of your pelvis into your diaphragm as well. So the hip flexor stretch helps release your diaphragm in the front, well, in the back actually. But the other muscle that sits on the side, if you can have a wide stance and is trying to stretch to the side to open this up, if you can open up that quadratus lumborum muscle, then that takes pressure off your diaphragm as well and helps you to be nice and tall. And the fascia between the quadratus lumborum, diaphragm, and hip flexor are all intermingled. So by stretching those for 30 seconds, 3 times, as much as you can during the day, as well as really thinking about how you're breathing. So either having a pop-up on your screen, a post-it note, whatever.
Timer on your phone.
Need. Yeah, it makes, and being on your phone. Yeah, sorry, what was that?
Timer on your phone.
A timer on your phone, yeah. I was thinking time on your phone because everybody's doing this. Which then shortens the front of you, restricts your diaphragm because you're not breathing well, because you're playing Candy Crush instead of doing the other things you need to do, or what other game, farm animals, whatever it's called.
There must be something newer and
I
cooler.
can't
I don't know.
remember the name of it. Anyway, so clearly I don't know that stuff. I should ask my kids. So yeah, so think about that. 30 seconds, 3 times, no pain, as much as you can, and pain-free. And all those little things really add up to better mobility and getting up and walking around. Like even like taking your lunch, making sure you're actually getting out of your house. Go for a walk, enjoy the nice weather. You're exchanging blood gases, you're increasing your heart rate, you're dynamically stretching your body the more you move. So all of those things add up to having better structural movement, breathing better, and better muscular length. Yeah, so make sure you're doing that.
Okay. And okay, so we've decided on this topic also because I do have a hip flexor issue. So I hurt myself like years ago and it flares up every now and again.
It was during ping pong she hurt herself.
No, it wasn't. Oh my God. Anyway, so I went biking on Sunday and there were some steeper hills. Anyways, I was in flexion, right? Is that right?
You were bent forward, yes.
Bent forward.
Flexion,
I'm trying to use osteopathic terms. And somehow I kind of twigged it, whatever that term is.
Or tweaked it, whatever. It wasn't a twig. It
Anyways,
going
super sore, and it's all hip flexor related. And so Dave was giving me exercises. So also the lesson here is do your daily exercises because it really does matter. Because I stopped doing them. I used to do bar all the time, which was really good for core and also hip flexors and strengthening hamstrings and quads, right? Because that was a big thing also with hip flexors.
Glutes and hip flexors.
And so bar classes are really good. And also Pilates, also excellent for strengthening the back of the body as opposed to just always like crunching forward. And I stopped doing that. So we were running a lot and we were staying active. So I thought I was doing all the right things. But then you just, you have to get back and make sure that you're really balanced in your exercise and do your exercises daily. I'm so regretting not keeping up with those because I feel like an old person.
Yes, she walks like one too.
And
and complains like one. And not that there's anything wrong with that. But with running too, running's an interesting sport because we always think that running is giving us everything we need. It depends how you run. Like I know for myself as well, I'm very kind of quad dominant when I run. I kind of bounce when I run. I don't push far. I don't push hard. I don't push off hard when I'm running. If you're not using the full stride well, then you're not activating your hamstrings and your glutes nearly as much. So then you become more quad dominant, more quad tension, then you get imbalance in your knee, other problems too.
That's exactly That's
Yeah.
exactly me, how I run.
Yeah, so
So
it's not uncommon for that to happen,
Yeah.
but also the fact that who knows when gyms are opening, right? A lot of us who rely on our gyms
it's
to
just
get
phase 3, isn't it? Maybe.
phase, it
Yeah,
would be
but-
phase 3, but it's going to be a really different experience too. People may not want to be going back to your gyms.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things you can do at home. You can do quarter squats. You can do gentle lunges even. You can using your stairs and if you like doing the step climber at the gym, use your stairs. It's not as exciting, but it works. Or in Hamilton, you can do what are they called? The stairs in Hamilton?
Concession, are they open? I don't know if they are.
Okay. Well,
It
whenever.
doesn't allow for social distancing, but they might be opening up soon, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
they are phase 2.
but there's like push-ups, sit-ups. If you have tubing or weights at home, make sure you're getting into it. Make sure that you are doing bicep curls, tricep extensions. Like there's so much you can do and be active. And one of the things, like when I find people at work who are having dysfunction, yeah, there is a lot of tension in the system because of an old injury perhaps, where they start walking differently and they compensate and then structure stops moving properly. The other thing is strength. A lot of people are not strong. And as we age, we alter our lifestyle. A lot of us people become more sedentary. So we're not doing as much. We're not using our muscles as much as we used to when we were younger. Or we just forget because, oh, hey, I'm stretching, everything's great. Well, if you don't have core strength, you're not supporting your back. Or 2 years ago, I had a really bad knee problem. So when I was being active, I was snowboarding. I was having a lot of... Jake, thanks for loading the dishwasher at this present moment. That is super helpful. God.
They're normally very polite.
God. Anyway, I had a knee problem and I thought I needed an orthotic because my arch was collapsing. I thought my pelvis was not rotating properly. I thought it was something else until I actually looked at my leg and I noticed that I had wasting in one of the muscles in my quadricep. And once I actually started addressing it and strengthening it properly, my pain went away and I haven't had a problem since because I'm addressing it all the time. So, strength is not something that should be ignored. We should try to strive to be active our whole lives and strong. And flexible. So those things all should be taken into account when you're figuring out your activity level and looking at your activity level and make sure that all those, you're being active, but thinking about your strength and your flexibility because all those factors influence your structure and health.
Yeah. And just really quickly, can I talk about our program? We have
Do whatever you want.
Karina, Cretu, and I. She's the other holistic nutritionist and live blood analyst at the clinic. And we have collaborated to develop an awesome cleanse program. And we talked a lot about, timing and what's the right program for now. And because we've heard from so many people that, just people are feeling sluggish. They've maybe gained some pounds over the last 3 months. And but they're having a hard time getting motivated. We designed something that's going to be super simple, really easy to do, but very, very powerful. And it's actually 5 days of cleansing, a cleansing routine. It's based on research, so it works really well. And there's going to be 2 days prep and then 1 day kind of like what next sort of thing. So you can anchor some of those new habits into your life long term, but it's going to be really good. So we're running it. We thought we would run it after the July long weekend. And
after lots of fun has happened.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, some people are like, oh, this is the middle of summer. I like to drink in the summer. It's only 5 days or eat more, barbecue, all that stuff. But it's only 5 days. And there's never like the perfect time. Like you can always find an excuse there's always a birthday party or I don't know, a dinner party or this or that. So just like join us. It's going to be fun. We found the best time we thought for now. The body does do better cleansing in the summer because you have more energy. You're outside. You don't generally eat as much. And so it's a lot easier. So we'd love it if you could join us. The event is posted on our Facebook page as well as Instagram and our webpage as well, balancepointhc.com. So if you can join us, that'd be great. Let us know. What
Perfect.
else?
I think
So I guess that's it. Yep. Just
Yeah.
wanted to share that and excited to see you guys at the office.
All right. Have a great
Okay.
day and
Have a great weekend.
enjoy phase 2, everyone in Halton and around. Sorry about your peel. Hopefully we'll see you in phase 2.
Any
soon.
questions, actually, before we log off? Does anyone here have a question for us? An issue that you have that you want answers to?
Yeah, we never really asked that.
We usually try to get questions ahead of time, but no. Okay. All right. Well, if you have any questions, just post them down below and we'll be sure to answer them. Chat soon.
All right. Bye.